Hey, good morning, my friends. It's Jack here with Cowbell Farms, and it's another brisk day here in central Alabama. I know all the northern people and my friends, Tucker and I, and places in Canada where it's probably like 8 feet of snow right now, is complaining about 46 degrees as a high and 20 something, like low 20s, like I don't know, 25-ish at night. That is too much for this frost tender flower from Alabama. I would rather have it be 90 degrees than 30 degrees any day, even with humidity, because I am 47 years old, and I don't know why. I don't know if this is a thing for other people, but in my bones hurt, like my joints and my bones hurt when I get cold. I don't know if that's an age thing. I don't know if it's just something that happens just randomly, but I feel like it's always been like that. But I take so many hot baths with Epsom salt in the winter just because I cannot get warm to my core. I can be warm on the surface, but like if my internal body temperature is not warmed up, like I stay cold. And I hate to wear, this is the bad thing, I hate to wear socks, I hate to wear hats, I hate to wear things that supposedly hold in, your temperature. But if I get really cold, I'd rather wear like a beanie on my head or toboggan or something, or a hat of some sort to keep the heat in, especially if I'm outside. I have these little wraps that wrap around and cover your ears. I have only a couple of those. Trying to get my daughter to make me some more, but apparently it's not important enough for her list. So I was on buying seeds today, and I may or may not have a problem with the amount of seeds that I buy. It's like an addiction. Like some people just collect different things. For instance, my husband is a musician, so it's always expensive things like guitars and pedals and all of these different things. But he's always like, oh, I need that one, I need that one, I need that one. I'm kind of the same way with seeds. Seeds are a little bit cheaper. But when you're talking about going to the store or going online and buying, a couple of seed packets and spending, $10 or $15, which is up to 5 packs of seeds, 5 varieties, then I do have a problem, because as you will see in just a few minutes, because I'm going to show you the shopping that I did this morning through seeds. I have not purchased them yet, so I'm hoping by the time I actually get the money to get them by next week that they will still be available. But you're going to see the problem that my husband says I have with seeds. So I don't know if anybody else has a seed hoarding problem, but I kind of do. And I can't just go with 2 varieties of tomatoes. Like, that does not work for me. I'm gonna at least need a minimum of 10 to 20 different tomatoes if I'm gonna grow them. And I like variety. I tried some last year and year before last, and some of them I like and some of them I didn't. Some of them I tried for a couple of years in a row. And here in central Alabama, it's really hard to find a tomato that is hardy enough to go through some of the humidity. So we get like a bumper crop. Like, I would rather plant 180 tomato plants and get a huge harvest, because once we hit July, the tomatoes kind of get diseased and they don't look right and they start withering and stuff, because it's, up to 100 degrees and 100% humidity. So it's a little moist and sticky, and the tomatoes don't even like that. But I picked out a few that were humidity resistant a little bit, some new ones. But you'll see in this little video clip right here what kind of problems that I have. Here's a look at what I've got in my cart from Baker's Creek. I know there's a little bit of a light on it. These are the ones that I had to get over here because I could not find them on MI Gardener. So I got some of these this time. So I think I have a total of $58.50 in the rare seed collection. And then let's swap over here to see if I closed it out. I may have closed it out. All right, let's open a tab. Cancel. Let me go up here. Y'all, this might be a little obsessive, but this is what I do with seeds. These are all the ones that I'm going for this year. Trying some new ones, getting some old and faithful ones. Still, some of the ones I want are sold out completely. I need to go back to Baker Creek one more time and see if they have a black cherry tomato. That's one that I have been looking at. I grew it a few years ago and it was so prolific. But we have a lot in here. And they were really low on pepper seeds. And this is what I got as my total here on this one. And that's $118. But I literally have, what does it say how many items I had in my checkout? Hold on. Oh, sorry. 59 packages of seeds for $118, which isn't bad. And that is in my gardener. And I'm going to go back to Baker Creek and see if I can find some black cherry tomatoes. And we did find them right here. Love these. They're so pretty. But I think I'm going to get me a pack of those also. So we will add those to my cart. And now I have 21 seeds in here, packages of seeds, and I'm gonna look through these because I mean I might add a few more if I get to looking. Oh, I love these also. These have been great every year. They grow wonderful. I'm gonna add those as well. That's the Brad's Atomic Grape, and I might add a few more in here, and then I will have to beg someone for some money to buy them. Maybe this could be my Christmas present. Okay, so I ended up going ahead and adding the black cherry tomato, the Brad's Atomic Grape, the Sweetheart, Sunrise Bumblebee, the Blush Tiger, and these grape tomatoes. Yes, I have a lot of tomatoes, and there's about anywhere from 15 to 25 seeds in each packet. These are some specialty ones, so they're kind of a little bit more expensive sometimes for these specialty type tomatoes for what they are, but they taste so good. And I sell plants in the summer, so I usually make my money back off of buying a pack of seeds. But yeah, so is anybody else as crazy as I am? Because now I'm up to $80 in this seed shop and like 118 in the other one. So that's a lot of money, but this is my I have a problem with buying seeds and paper items. Should I be ashamed of that, or is there anyone else out there like that who can have 100 packs of seeds and pretty much grow all of them. And I will be selling plants, so that is why I also have a variety of stuff, because I will sell baby starts in the spring. I do every year, and usually I make just enough to cover all of my seeds, and you know, to me that's worth it, because then all of my plants are pretty much free. I've got a lot more work to do around the farm. We are going to start here in just a week or so, or through the week, getting all the materials to redo the front porch. It's rotted on one side, so we have to redo the deck and then put rails up, because right now we don't have any rails out there, and it's by the pool. And with baby girl coming over here all the time, we are going to have to cage that in and make sure that she can't fall off the porch, she can't fall through the porch, and that she cannot get to the swimming pool whatsoever. So we're gonna fortify that with, you know, great measures to keep any kids from getting into the pool or falling off of our, I think it's 6 foot high off the ground porch in the front, something like that, just to fortify that. So that was a project that we were waiting till the end of the year to get done. She is 13 months old, so she's, you know, she wants to go out there now and walk around, and I have to hold her if we go on the porch, because I will not put her down, but she likes to sit on the porch and look at all the animals out in the yard. So that is our number one goal. I want to finish my goat fence in the back. There's a video that I put up, oh my gosh, it's been a year ago, where we were putting in our poles to start the goat fence. And yeah, that's as far as we got. We have all of our, like, the start of our poles going in, but that is it. Like, we never got anywhere else with that, because cash flow wasn't having it. Everything went up like double. For every 330 feet of fence, it's going to cost us roughly $450 to $500 for every 300 feet. That's just the fencing. That's not the T-post to go in. So I've got another, it's probably going to cost me another $1,500 to $2,000 to finish the fence. So that's just like, we're going to have to put up a section at a time, also because the way that we have the fence set up, we can't pull with the tractor if we go ahead and set all of our poles, because we got to pull from this corner, then we got to go to the next corner, and then we got to pull from that corner. So we have to do this in sections anyways. So it's just, I don't know, help. I mean, everybody works around here, jobs, and so it's like, I just need someone to come put the fence up for me, but then I don't have money to pay, because I think it was going to be, for the people to come put the fence in, was going to be around $14,000 for them to put the fence up and everything. And I was like, oh, we can do this ourselves. I cannot pay anywhere from $10,000 to $14,000 to fence that in, when I can fence it in for around $3,000 to $4,000 ourselves. Like, that's a huge difference. So that's what we're working on. Also, I say we, this little mouse in my pocket, trying to beg my husband and son to take the time to help, but it's not their fault. It's just, it's not been conducive to, the weather hadn't been right, or they've been working, or, you know, it's just, all the elements have not fallen together in the perfect form yet. Also, I have a whole lot of old hay, and I need to get it out of my barn. It's been sitting in there for a couple of years, so I'm gonna throw some down for some bedding, save a few for some bedding, and then the rest of it's gonna go out to the compost, and we're just gonna stack that out there for the chickens. But in order to do that, I need to move the compost that's already previously there and take it down to my garden, so that I have all that nice soil and I'm not burying it under a whole bunch of hay. And then I'm gonna put those, I think I have about 50 hay bales that are not any good anymore. The goats won't even eat it, and goats are probably, they're semi-picky. They ate it, but then I gave them a bale of new hay, and then I tried to put one of those back in there, and they were like, it's like a cat, like, what is this? And I'm not eating that. So we got to clean all of that out. And maybe I will film some of that and just show you what I'm doing, if I remember, because this is the bad thing about doing YouTube is I a lot of times forget to hit the record button, and I will do an entire thing and think I have it on film, and I didn't get anything. And I'm not gonna redo it. Like I'm not that desperate to redo it. I'm just like, nope. But there is not a lot to do in the winter. Like not a lot of filming. We're not doing much. Everything's just so drab and gray and brown, and no, I mean, who really wants to look at that? No one. So on to some more projects. What else do we have going on? I would like to fortify my chicken coop by finishing up a little piece of fence about 20 feet long that hooks from the barn to where the gate is. I've got like a dog kennel in there now, a 20 by 20 by 20 dog kennel that's covered so that they have a way to get away from predators. And I really built that for when we have the baby chicks hatch out, and somewhere for them to run around and be outside and not always inside, and not be able to get taken by hawks, because I had 90 something chickens, and I had hatched out at least 60 of those chickens, maybe more like 80, 70 or 80 maybe chickens. I had hatched babies out, and we had problems with a fox getting in there, and we had hawk issues. So a lot of the babies will just die. I mean, like, you're gonna lose some. I ended up with about 20 roosters out of that hatchery. The hawks got babies, and I ended up at the end of the spring last year. Was it last year? Not this spring, but the spring before. So yes, last year's spring. At the end of that summer, toward the fall last year, I ended up with about 35 chickens out of 90. So that was not good at all. And some of that was after this was even built, but I didn't realize there was a fox coming in there every day and getting chickens. And he got pretty brave because he started coming in the daytime, and that's a place where the dogs cannot get into, so they couldn't even chase him off. But he would come up to the fence while I was cutting the grass. It was always when I was on the lawnmower. So he would wait till I was lawn mowing and everywhere. And he would get within 10 feet of where I was cutting grass. But he was sneaky because he knew if I was on the lawnmower, I probably couldn't hear him. And I would hear the chickens, you know, getting antsy, and I would look and I saw him out there. And I finally he disappeared, or she disappeared. I don't know. It was a little gangly looking little thing, scrawny looking thing. So there's probably something wrong with her. But she jumped through a fence. I watched her go through goat and sheep fencing, which is a 2-inch by 2-inch square. So we're talking like a hole this big, and that fox went through a hole this big. I never saw her after that. So I don't know if that did some internal damage, but she squeezed herself through that somehow. I have no idea how. And that was insane to me. I was like, I don't even know how she fit through that hole. But apparently fox, in my opinion now, are like mice. They can squeeze through. If there's a hole this big, I think they can like shrink themselves and go through it. I don't know. They couldn't get the chickens back through. So there were dead chickens sometimes where they couldn't get the chicken back through the fence, but they went back through the fence. And so they would keep coming, trying to get more and more and more. And so I ended up with that big loss. So I didn't hatch any chickens out at all this year. Number one, because I was busy doing things and I had grandbaby. Also, there were so many roosters in there that is it worth my while to hatch that many out and then have mainly roosters when I can go to the feed store and buy pullets? And most of the time the pullets are pullets. Like occasionally you get one that's not, like, it ends up being a boy anyways, but I mean, it's not 100% foolproof, I guess. I don't know how to sex a chicken, but apparently these people are really good at it, and that's a skill I would really love to know, because then I could just go ahead and, as little babies, go ahead and separate them out and get the roosters out so they're not straight run, and that I would have my little pullets, and just keep those. But I'm hoping this year, now that Pea Pie is going to be, she's 13 months old now, so by the spring, she'll be old enough to be able to watch the egg process and like hatchery. So I think it'll be fun to hatch out eggs, let her kind of do that as a little thing when she's at grandma's house, and go through that whole process. And I think she'll understand that and watch it and love it, and then teach her to feed them and like let them be hers. But I'm overkill. I'm always overkill. Like if I'm gonna hatch out, my incubator I think does 40 eggs, and in my opinion, if I'm going to do 40, I'm going to do 80. So I may have, and they don't all hatch, but I've had really good hatch rates with my chickens, and they're just barnyard mix. They're not going to be specialty breeds. They are just like mixed. And as long as they produce eggs, I don't really care like what they're mixed with. But my rooster is a French black copper Moran, or Moran, whatever you want to call it. So I have that line, which is a good line. He's a great rooster. I hope he lives forever. He's the sweetest rooster. He's ginormous. He's so sweet. I don't know why his demeanor is so different. Like, I guess that type of chicken, like the French copper Moran, I think they're more laid back, possibly. As far as a chicken, they're more docile. But he also had a lot of brothers and sisters, and the brothers that were hatched out with him when I hatched these eggs out, we took some of them out. So we had to kill some of them because they were being very mean, and they were just trashing the hens and everything. So we ended up taking them out. And I don't know if Roger saw that and was like, I'm acting right, but I feel like he might have just been like, nope, I'm on the straight and narrow. You're not going to take me out, so I'm going to be good. So maybe they say chickens can remember human faces. They can remember, like, they know who feeds them. They know who to trust. That's why some roosters will attack certain people in the family and not others. Like the person who feeds them, they're probably not going to attack them, but other people they may. This guy has never come off anybody. I have kids that go in the chicken coop and run around and do things, and nothing. Like, no one ever has gotten even chased, flogged, or anything by Roger. He's such a good docile rooster that I wish he could live forever. So he's a good father. He doesn't mess with the babies. Like, if there's babies in there, he doesn't pick on them. He just leaves them alone. I prefer to hatch to let them sit under hens out there, but my hens are, I don't know what's wrong with them, but I don't know if anybody else has had this problem before, but they will sit on those eggs. They'll sit on eggs when I'm going and collecting them, and they'll be there for 40 days straight and not even move off that nest if I'm getting eggs out from under them. But I can go down there and have eggs under a chicken for them to hatch, and they'll sit on them for like 15 days, and then they just get up and get off, or 12 days or 13 days, and they just get up and move. And I'm like, this is insane that y'all are getting off these eggs when they're almost, and then I have to like scramble to try to stick them under another chicken that's setting, so that, and then sometimes they get up and move. So if y'all have a remedy for that, please let me know if there's something you can do. What I'm going to do this year is actually build a separate place for the broody hens to go into. So I'm going to have a caged area that the other chickens cannot come in there and lay eggs on top of eggs that are sitting. That way I don't have to mark them. I can just put the chickens in there, put the eggs in there, and let my broody hens do their job. And then the babies will be out in that little run around area. But they do better with the mom with them. Like, I've had the hens that I have now that have the most survival rate are the ones that have mamas teaching them what to do, not ones you buy at the store. Like, the moms just know what to do, and they'll cover those babies, and they get under the wings and they nestle in there and are protected. And The other ones are kind of just out there and they don't really get protected as much because the mom's not fighting for them. I've actually tried sticking some brand new babies hatched under some mamas before, and my silkies sometimes will accept a baby. But this year, I had one mama hatch out some babies, and then she got killed while they were itty bitty. I think the first time she probably got out of that nest to go do something happened to her, and then the other chickens got in there and on top of the babies and pecked them and climbed on them, and oh, it was so sad. Like, I went out there and there were 6 new babies out there sitting under their mama, and then the next day I couldn't find the mama and all the babies were dead, and it was so sad. Or it might have been 2 days. It was within a couple of days, because I think there were 3 and then I went back out there and there were 6, so within a couple of days. But those silkies are the best mamas. They are so good at being mamas. What else do we have going on? We have to clean up some more stuff that I've got these Ladybank roses that took over. So we're trying to move all of them or kill them and redo around the pool. They're beautiful and I love them. Like, they are the most gorgeous rose bushes, but they're ramblers. And so they just shoot off these long, and when I say long, I mean these sprigs that come off of these vines, it's kind of like if you had a wisteria. It's like an invasive type of rose, and it puts out such runners and long. I'm gonna try to put a picture up here if I can find what it looks like in the summer. I'm gonna try to find a picture and put it right here if I can remember to do that. So it's a rambler, 20, 30, 40 feet long. These beams come off of it. So they go everywhere. So they're dipping in the pool and all the leaves fall off in the pool. So we're having to move it away because it was a atrocious problem with the swimming pool last year, because there were so many leaves in there from this thing. And when the wind blows, it's just like, oh, it was terrible. So we're going to do something else around the pool and move all those. We want to build a patio out here in the front, and put like wooden 4x4s up around it, and then put some swings for the baby and things like that. Like, make a little swing set out of it also, where it's right here by the house and she can just go out there and play. I want to add gutters to the front of the house. I want to add gutters to the chicken coop side. I want to add gutters to the greenhouse to catch rain catchment, because in the summertime, and us having that well pump, and it's when the power goes out and when storms happen, and we've had more problem after problem with the well pump. Like, we're still having issues with it, and I feel like this has been ongoing for about a year, and it's like every time it's something different. So I would love for it to actually work right. We do only water with it. We don't use it at our house, but we use it for the garden and the animals and everything like that. So getting that up and going really well would actually be good. And we usually shut it down in the winter just because we don't want any of the automatic waters to freeze and things like that. So they're shut off anyway, so we're not super worried about that until getting into spring. But we're going to try to fix it before spring so it'll already be ready and get it wrapped and everything. Yeah, I'm not really sure what else is going on. Don't have big plans for Christmas this year. Kind of just keeping it mellow. Think we're going to go up to see the baby on Christmas Day and just kind of chill. And my husband's off work for 2 weeks, so I'm going to see how many things that I can actually get done. Doesn't mean he will help me. He'd be like, well, it's my vacation. And I get that, but if we can get the porch done, that will be fine. But I'm sorry to ramble on for like forever, but I'll try to get back on here again before Christmas if there's anything going on. I probably have a million other things to update, so I'll think of some more stuff later and I'll come back and talk to you. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas. If I don't talk to you, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I will talk to you guys soon. God bless, and you have a blessed day.